I made some mistakes making the French onion soup, particularly the part right after I fried or sauteed the onions, and before I put the broth in. I will make notations in the recipe, of course, for the correct procedures, and also I'll make written notations in the video so you can see what I made. The big differences I can remember are I forgot to put the garlic in and saute the garlic for 30 seconds, a minute, whatever, to get the fragrance out of the garlic, or to get the fragrance from the garlic. And I also forgot to put the flour in. The flour I used to basically, not to thicken it so much as just to give it a little body. Luckily enough, when I reduced the stock, it gave me some extra body, some extra thickness that I was hoping for. It also reduced it a little bit more than I wanted it to, which was okay. We added a little extra, as you'll see, of non-reduced stock to it, but I thought it had a nice body to it. If I see anything else in here, I'll make notes of it in the video itself and in the recipe. This is years in development. I started really simply with this many years ago when the family was all together for Thanksgiving, mainly at the beach. So this has a long and varied history. Hopefully I've improved it as we go on. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you try it, because I really like this product. I'll see you. Hello and welcome back to The Angry Cook. Or as you say, oh, thank you! Welcome to the French Chef! Anyway, today we're going to be doing a little French chefing. We're going to be doing French onion soup au gratin. Most of this recipe is courtesy of probably one of the most famous people in the world, and someone I got to actually meet one time, Julia Child. She was, I think, to my mind anyway, a chef extraordinaire. And I have a great deal of respect for her. Anytime I get to see her, to watch her old shows, I watch them, because you learn something different every day. She had the same philosophy I have. If something messes up, make it work for you. I know there was, if I remember right, there was an episode where she dropped a roasted chicken on the floor, and she picked it up and dusted it off and ended up serving it anyway. And just laughed it off, because that's the way she was. She never took cooking more seriously than what it should be, and it's because it's fun. Make it fun, make it yours. Ingredients today. We got a pot, imagine that. We have 6 medium to large onions. I've already done most of them, but you're tired of watching me chop shit up, I know you are. 8 tablespoons of butter. A little olive oil to raise the smoke temperature of the butter. 2 cloves of minced garlic. We have dry sherry. You could also use dry white wine. We're kind of low on the sherry, so we'll probably use a little bit of both. Worcestershire sauce. Make sure you look for the stuff that's brewed. Look at the table of contents, you'll see if it's got caramel color in it, you don't want it. Spend the money, get the right ingredients. We have 3 quarts of beef stock, not beef broth. The difference is richness and flavor. We have little baby French bread. And we have, to top it, to go in the oven, some Gruyere cheese. And yes, these are going in. And also, ooh, you almost forgot the thyme. If you have the thyme, I have the beer. So we're going to put fresh thyme in the beginning, more towards the end, after we have the stock in. The difference between fresh and dry. Dry stuff needs time to reconstitute, hence you put it in the beginning. Fresh stuff has already got all the flavor there, so you put it in at the end. We're also going to garnish, I believe, with a sprig of thyme, if I remember. Depending upon the taste, we may augment a little bit with some better than bouillon. You can use beef, you can use chicken. Your choice. Some people like to use chicken stock for this. Some people use a combination of beef and chicken. I like beef, just the way I am, the way my taste buds work. So, let's get to work. So, here we are. We got one onion left to do. Like I said, I'm going to save you the utter misery of watching me cut 6 onions. Take the ends off. This is damn ass sharp. I almost cut my finger off with it while I was prepping. So, use sharp knives. I know it seems counterintuitive to you, but more accidents happen when the knife is dull than when it's sharp. Cut it in half. People spend God knows how much time trying to rip this shit off. Just rip the skin off. You're done. Take the first layer off, and you're done. Voila. Keep it simple. The simpler you make it, the easier it is for you. The more you're going to want to do this again. We want fine, maybe 1/8 inch, 1/16 inch wide slices as they fall into the stove. Very well done, don't you think? When you get towards the end, flip it on its side, cut the end of this off. Otherwise, you're going to cut your fingers off. Stop it! Now we're going to add our onions. We're going to put our butter and oil in to the pan, get it ready on medium-low, and we're going to caramelize the onions. This takes a long time. Be patient, you'll be rewarded. If you want to rush things along, don't bother making it from scratch because it's not going to be the same. Trust me. So let's get the butter in there. We've had this resting at room temperature for about an hour just to help it along. About a tablespoon of oil is more than sufficient. Oh, wrong one. Whoa! Shh. There you go. Okay, so we'll be back in a couple of minutes. When this is all melted down, we're going to cut that into some smaller pieces to help. So, we'll be back in a couple of minutes. Okay, butter and oil in, 8 tablespoons of butter, 1 tablespoon of oil, and this. And I know what you're saying. You're saying, holy shit, I'm never going to eat all those. Well, yes you are, because this is going to reduce down to about this. Low and slow. In fact, I've got this on medium-low, and I'm going to put it down to low because it's really cooking. I have the luxury of a gas-fired stove here at the test kitchen under the volcano, fueled with real volcano juice. So it's a pure luxury for me to do this. I haven't done this in years, and I love gas. Just ask my wife. Ba-dum-bum. He'll be here all week. Try the deal. So we're going to mix this around. Make sure you get the butter and oil mixture on all of the onions. And we're going to be adjusting the temperature as we go here. I'm going to be adding about a teaspoon of salt to help draw the moisture out. Some people recommend a teaspoon of sugar to caramelize. What you're caramelizing is the sugar. You're not caramelizing the onions. So we're doing salt and some pepper, and that's it. So we'll get the salt. And again, I know you appreciate my fine measurements. We're going to cut up some, prep some oregano. I'm going to do that off camera. You don't need to see that. And we're going to put this back up to medium low again. And we're going to let it go for a while. I'll bring it back probably 20 minutes or so when I see some results going on. We'll bring you back and show you what it looks like. Okay, about 20 minutes in, and you see we're translucent now. The liquid's starting to leak out of it, and that'll go away in a little bit. Deposit itself, I hope, in some very nice fond on the bottom of the pan, which is flavor. The little brown bits on the bottom of any pan, you want that bad, especially if you're making gravy. I've got 2 quarts of beef stock simmering here. I want to reduce this by about 1/3 or so. I'm going to keep testing it until I'm happy with it. I have an extra spare quart in case I need more. I chopped, not oregano, thyme. So there is no oregano in this recipe. It's about a couple of tablespoons of thyme. Also brought out the black pepper. We're going to be putting the garlic in when this is reduced down, and they've only got a minute or so left before we add everything else. So just a status to let you know we're still working. About 40 minutes into this, and you can see what was this much is now about maybe 3/4 of an inch worth of mushrooms, Jesus, onions. We haven't started the browning process yet. I'm just waiting on that. That'll be real soon now, the way this looks. Alright, as we're wrapping this up soon, I hope, we should be seeing a little bit of golden in there, so we should be soon. We're going to grate our Gruyere cheese, which is what we're putting on top. Any old way you can do it. Use a food processor if you have to. The good old food grinder is good enough for me. Jade's not here to pick up the pieces. If she was, that's really, there we go. Do the thick part first, doofus. And we're going to grate the whole thing up, and it's how we're going to cover our soup bowls once we put them in. So you don't need to watch all that. We'll bring it back soon. So we're doing the croutons. They call them croutons in France. I call it bread. We're going to throw them in the oven for 5-10 minutes. We're going to brush them with a little melted butter, a little garlic salt. Don't worry, I'll edit all this out. Don't you worry about nothing. And the browning continues. The onions are kind of a golden brown for the most part right now. We want them to take on a deeper, richer color than that, but they're getting where we want them to be. And the smell permeates the place. It even outpaces the volcanic sulfur, which you can't smell anymore over the onion juice. So doing quite nicely, thank you. So we're going to paint these with melted butter. We're going to do a touch of garlic salt. We're not going to be heavy on that like we would if it was garlic bread. 350 oven, 5-10 minutes till we get nice golden brown on top. This is going to continue to brown. We'll bring it back when both things are done, I think. Well, we lost our stove cam to a battery issue, so let's charge it up. We still have a little bit to go here. So my camera person is back on the stick, and we've got some crouton. We have our soup. You see the brown in there? That is freaking awesomeness. Awesomeness. We have heated up 2 quarts of our beef stock. And I totally forgot about the freaking garlic. We're going to put it in anyway. Because, you know, that's the way I roll. 2 cloves. We're going for the garlicky taste anyway, so have a nice time. And I'm going to put about half of another carton of stock in here. Those little things are annoying, the little metal thing, foil things they leave in there. I'm going to put in about a tablespoon of horseradish. Holy crap! Worcestershire. We're going to do pepper till you're happy. At least 1/4 teaspoon, probably half, maybe even a full teaspoon. Wouldn't hurt it at all. And then we're going to do La Chérie Amour. And, which I forgot in the beginning, a couple of bay leaves. And we're going to bring that to a boil and then put it on simmer for 20 to 30 minutes till you're satisfied with it. We want to meld all these flavors together. We're going to test it also, taste it before. Probably needs more salt, I would bet. Heavy in the sherry, that's alright. I lost my salt. That was about half a cup of dry sherry, by the way. You put another spoonful of sugar, or salt in there, Jesus. And bring it to a boil, and then turn it down to simmer. Ball's prepared. Extras, the ladies don't like bread in theirs, although I just don't quite understand how that can be, but it is. So we're going to let that go. Bring it to a boil. Simmer 20 or 30 minutes under the broiler until it's golden brown and bubbly. And we're done. We'll bring it back in a few minutes. See ya. We're at the conclusion, just about, of our French onion soup. Julia Child extravaganza. Been simmering for about 20 minutes. I'm going to add our fresh thyme to it to end it out. A couple of tips. I forgot to put the flour in, tablespoon of flour. Normally this would be a little bit thicker. This is actually thick enough for me, but normally I would add a tablespoon of flour to the onions, let it cook. Remember how we talked about letting onions, the flour cook, the flour taste out for 2 or 3 minutes, and then add the garlic, which I also didn't add. I added that later. We all make mistakes. Me especially. I said I used half the stock. Put this in the refrigerator. Don't throw it out. This is perfectly good. Use it for other things, for flavoring. Make like a steak tomorrow with gravy. Make a nice beef gravy with mushrooms and onions and shit. So we're gonna go. We had an accident with a bowl, so we're down to 3 regular bowls and 1 unusual one. We're going to scoop. Look at that onion goodness. Some people say put the crouton after you put the soup in. It's really hard to do that, I think. About 3 ladles ought to fill one up nicely. Just so much onion on there, just this awesomeness. Indescribable awesomeness. This is one of my favorite vegetables, by the way. And then we're going to dress this with Gruyere. I'm of the pile the stuff on until you can't see the bowl anymore, school. If you're not, well, do it your way. It's wrong, but you can do it your way. So we go. Now that's nice, isn't it? But that's not even, that's barely any on there. So we're gonna go around here and smush some more. They don't get as much cheese because I don't eat the bread, so sucks to be them.
That is not fair.
There's no circus either. And we got the cheesy. Now we're going into a broiler for about 5 minutes. Just depends. You got to keep your eye on it. Oh, that's not going to work. Ow. Don't you go anywhere. That is heavy, by the way. So we'll bring you back in a couple of minutes for the final ending. Cut. Here we are. The end of our long trip. Long but worthwhile trip into French onion soup land. Julia says hi. I know, I just asked her. Back behind the stove, please. Remember to use oven mitts and a dish, because these mothers are hot, girls.
That's fine.
And up on me. And that's pretty much it. It's been about an hour and a half, almost 2 hours really, since we started this fiasco. This is one of my favorite soups, and again, a soup in the middle of summer, I know, but it's something that I order every time I see it on a menu, and I judge a restaurant by how good its French onion soup is. You can range from watery and crappy right up to outright deliciousness. So give it a try, let me know how you like it. See you later. Just as an aside, we have an assistant here making her famous Caesar salad, and all by hand, by the way, and it's awesome. She grew the salad. She actually grew the seeds that grew the salad in this volcanic soil here on the South Pacific. So she baked the bread to make the croutons. No, she didn't do any of that, but whatever. And dinner is served.
Sir.
See you guys later.